Welcome to episode 163 of the Quest Lore series, Perilous Moons. To start this quest, you must have completed Children of the Sun and Twilight's Promise. You go to the entrance of Cam Torum, where you see some guards and some builders. You speak to Atala, who doesn't want any humans to go into the city, despite there being a deal for construction. Suddenly, a guard says that a creature managed to escape through the mountain's outflow spring. You offer to help, but Atala doesn't want any help from a human. Anyway, you walk around, climb up the rock slide, and fight the Nagua that escaped. You let Atala know that the ridge is secured, and so she hesitating lets you and the builders inside. The builders recommend that you speak to Jess in the north of the city. She's an archaeologist who's investigating the ruins that the dwarves have found and where the monster has come from. The dwarves you pass are verbally aggressive towards you. They really don't like humans. You find Jess near the entrance of the ruins. She thanks you for helping with the supplies getting to her. You ask if you can help with her exploration of the ruins, and seeing that you can defend yourself, she accepts, and says that you can help her set up some base camps. Here, in the entrance of the ruins, you see a massive monolith in the middle of the room, which has a quiet humming coming from it. Atala is examining a strange painting on the wall, and the priest Zuma says that he believes this place is a shrine built by the emissaries of Ranul. Jess has found something written in the language of the Old Ones. She's currently deciphering it, so while she's busy translating, she would like you to set up the camps in each of the 3 caverns, which would make further exploration easier. You take the building supplies and construction materials and go through the southwestern entrance, running past the sulfur naguas of this ancient prison to build the first camp spot. At these camps you're able to restore your run energy. Then you pass through the northeastern gate and head deep into the steam-bound cavern to build another campsite. And lastly, in the northwestern earthbound cavern, you build a third and final one. Back in the main antechamber, Jess has finished deciphering the inscriptions and thinks it's unwise to free the emissaries of ancient times that could bring danger, even though we could still learn more about them. She says that they were sealed by the path of earth and streams of water. This magic originates somewhere within these ruins, which she discovered has a name. These ruins are called Nepotzli, and she thinks that these 2 talismans that she found, of earth and water, are connected to it. Atala suggests that you speak with Nata in the magic shop, and to mention that she sent you. Nata casts a spell on the talismans and tells you to take them to the blacksmith. They'll now react to Naguanal magic. It's an ancient form of magic that has been forgotten by most people, but as the dwarves of Cam Torum are experts in both blacksmith and magic, he can take the talisman and infuse them. Then you return to Atala with the enchanted talismans. The earth talisman pulls you west or east, and the water talisman pulls you north or south. Using these, you coordinate yourself to find a Nagua named Ayat Lali, who is speaking a language that you don't understand, but thankfully she then switches to English. She's a Nagua of both the earth and the streams, and she explains that Nepotzli is a prison for the moons of peril, a trio of terrible and powerful Nagua, and also their long-dead summoner, who wanted to wreak havoc when facing his inevitable death, deciding to lash out and inflict death on others too. This prison was created to contain them, and Ayat Lali keeps them in check. Suddenly, the icosahedron in the antechamber starts shaking. It has been disturbed because the priest accidentally touched it. As this object is the key to the magics that keep the moons of peril contained, it has to be re-infused with a ritual. You need to obtain the scales of a bream, the tail of a moss lizard, and a paste made from moonlight grubs. Near the northeastern room's camp spot, you grab some moonlight grubs from the saplings near the water and crush them with a pestle and mortar. You then use the fishing spot to catch a raw bream and use a knife on it to get the scales. Walking north from here and passing a small entrance, you find a hunting area where you set up the traps between 2 rocks. You rustle a bush and the lizards come out, stepping into the trap, so you catch a raw moss lizard and then cut its tail. Then you return to the antechamber and give Ayat Lali the items. The ritual is in motion, but the wounds of the seal will not close if the moons are still raging against it, so you've got to go to their chambers and engage them in combat whilst Ayat Lali fixes the seal. She will put glyphs on the floor to protect and guide you in the fights. Standing within the highlighted circles that are moving in a clockwise direction, you are able to damage the enemies. When the highlighted circles reach the full and empty moons, the bosses use a special attack. The blood moon is weak to slash. When it rains blood from above, you avoid the pools of blood on the floor. And when the blood jaguars appear, you stand on the highlighted circle and attack the jaguars to prevent the boss from healing. The blue moon is weak to crush. When your weapon is frozen in a block of ice, you click on the highlighted ice to get your weapon back. And the other special attack is to light 2 braziers whilst avoiding the damage of the whirlwinds. A cutscene plays in the Eclipse Moon Room, where Zuma believes that he is seeing an emissary of the god, but without realizing the danger that he's in, he's attacked. The eclipse moon is weak to stab. One of the specials is that a shield will appear, and you've got to keep it between you and the boss to prevent damage. The other special attack teleports you to the center of the room and freezes you in place, so you must face the clones that are attacking you from all directions to avoid their damage. Now that the threat is contained, you return to the antechamber. Jess will continue to explore this place, and Atala is grateful that you've ensured Cam Torum's safety, so you will be welcomed back into the city if you wish to visit. Zuma realizes his foolishness and mentions something about runes infused with magic of the sun and the moon, saying that there may be a connection to Ranul and Ralos in this place after all. By the way, Ranul is lunar spelled backwards, and Ralos is solar spelled backwards. Lastly, you speak to Ayat Lali, who has managed to repair the seal, but now that the moons have had a glimpse of freedom, they're raging harder than ever against their bindings, and it's taxing on her. If you keep distracting the moons, Ayat Lali may repay you with some trinkets from ancient times. You get 40,000 Slayer XP and 5,000 runecrafting, hunter and fishing XP. Plus you now have access to the Perilous Moons bosses, and you can also claim an extra reward in the chamber to the southeast by looting the lunar chest. Join me next time where I'll explain the lore behind the riveting tale of a lily pad labour dispute.